We think of Orsino as a sweeping romantic hero, but if you look at the text of Act 1, especially his opening lines, Shakespeare is actually painting a portrait of a somewhat terrifying psychological egoist. Here's why. Now, the first line suggests music be the food of love, meaning when in love one feasts on music, or music is the very stuff through which love nourishes but also expresses itself, right? But Orsino goes basically on and says, give me excess of it, that's surfeiting, eating too much food, the appetite might sicken and so die. So immediately he perverts the metaphor, you might say, because he wants an abundance of music so as to forget and sicken his love. He compares music to an appetite, or sorry, love, his own love, to an appetite. And of course, not to overread this, since we've only 3 lines in, but there is a sense in which Orsino's got an idea of love which is a little bit off, right? That, and this happens often with Shakespeare. People have an idea of love or what they think love is that it doesn't necessarily match up to reality. There's a long tradition, of course, like all lovers' sonnets and the troubadours, of writing a love or playing music to the absent lady love, the woman who will never give you the time of day. And Orsino is suffering from that. But he also thinks of love as something that merely is like food that can be filled and therefore satiated. And we've got this weird scene. This kind of reminds me of Swann in Proust's Search of Lost Time, who finds this part of a Vinteuil sonata that reminds him of his love for Odette and has to keep listening to it over and over again. In this case, he's looking for that strain of music, and you can imagine it's being played on stage. It had a dying fall to it, so he's looking for sort of like death and melancholy in his music to represent his own unrequited love to Olivia, right? Oh, it came o'er my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. But then, no, enough, no more. So it's presumably the actor, or sort of the curio, whoever plays it again. He says, no more, 'tis not so sweet now as it was before. Basically, the music turns out not to be the food of love in some ways, because it's not really making him feel better. It's not satiating him. Or unless you take it literally, yes, I suppose he's getting sick of the strain by hearing it a second or third time and says, that's enough of it. But you can sense his cynicism here. He's an older character. Spirit of love, how quick and fresh art thou, that feeling of love for someone, that notwithstanding thy capacity receiveth as the sea, not enters there, of what validity and pitch soe'er. So in helpful sometimes notes, keen and hungry, value, superiority, literally the highest point of a falcon's flight, an abatement, depreciation. The lover's brain entertains innumerable fantasies but soon tires of them all, basically, but falls into abatement, that is, falls down into depreciation and low price even in a minute. Now, the old Latin phrase, all animals after coitus are sad, basically, Orsino is basically turning into the idea of like you're lovesick for a while, but then it fades and it hurts. And love, he's almost turning into a he's already sick of love. He's sick of being in love. He's impatient with love. So he's sort of like angry that he is in love, that his love is unrequited, and that he can't control his love, but that love seems to quickly deteriorate into something else. Nothing satisfies him. So he's kind of, you could say philosophically, he's moving all over the place in terms of trying to gain control over this feeling that he can't control, that's driving him crazy. If you want to see how this comedic chaos unfolds in Act 2, or want to join my upcoming independent masterclass on Shakespeare or the Bible as literature, click the link in the description to join the Literature Lab mailing list on Substack. Don't forget to subscribe for next week's take. See you in the lab. Thanks.